What up, Bombers? Boss Bomb here, Maude Garrett, to talk all things Battlefront 2 here at Star Wars Celebration in Orlando, Florida, 2017. You may have just seen that the panel has happened at Star Wars Celebration. If you weren't there, then you could have streamed it, and I've been live tweeting along with that one as well. But I was actually lucky enough to be at the press panel, which means that I saw pretty much that exact panel that the public saw, but a lot earlier in the day, so I can get my video out in time for an embargo lift, because I want to chat all about this game and to get involved with the game and understand all these things and kind of give you my opinion. But as a Star Wars fanatic and a big fan of the first game, I am here to really break it down, what I think is working, what I think isn't working, what I'm understanding about the game, and some of my opinions as a Star Wars fan, how I feel it fits into the entire universe. So at the panel, we got a trailer. They played it twice. And you kind of saw a lot of things. And I wrote a bunch of notes down to kind of get an understanding of what we were seeing in this trailer. First of all, you see brand new faces. This is actually a woman called Iden, and she is a part of the Galactic Empire. And then when you see that there's a battle on the moon of Endor and the Death Star blows up, boom, it completely places you in the timeline. Yep, this is at the end of Return of the Jedi, and the Emperor has just fallen. I love that you can hear Palpatine in the trailer as well.
Resistance. Rebellion.
Can confirm that is Sam Witwer. Gave him a sneaky text. I was like, dude, is that you? And he was like, yes. And he's also another character that you see in the trailer too. So you get a real sense of what the planets look like, what space looks like, and the debris that's just floating around in the airspace above Endor where the Death Star used to be. So I love that they've kind of set up the place in time that they're going to explore, and that there's a new face here as well. Not going to lie, when I first saw Iden, I was like, oh, that looks a lot like someone else that we've just been reading about. If you have read Claudia Gray's Lost Stars, it looks a lot like Ciana Ree. Same physical appearance, also a TIE fighter pilot in the Imperial Army. Basically, it's kind of a parallel story from what I'm hearing, because the focus on this game is that they want to show you it from they kept saying particular view, from a certain point of view, guys.
From a certain point of view.
How did you not use the word certain point of view? Because it's exactly what you're embodying with Star Wars. The whole time we've been focusing on the rebellion side. They're the heroes. They're the side that we've been rooting for. They're the good guys. But now that they've kind of abolished good and bad, they're showing you a particular point of view.
From a certain point of view.
Which is why I loved Lost Stars. It was like the Romeo and Juliet of the Rebels and the Imperials. You saw a completely different side of why they're fighting on the side that they're on, what they really do believe, and we're getting that again in this Battlefront 2 game. What else did we see in the trailer? Well, we kind of got a glimpse of what multiplayer is going to be all about, and Darth Maul is back, baby. Yes, with his signature double-ended lightsaber. Can't say that without sounding naughty. Again, voiced by Sam Witwer. He's been a busy boy. And you also see another saber be ignited with his whoosh, whoosh, cross guard. Kylo Ren. We're going to be seeing a lot more of him as well. They're actually really pushing that. They're going to cover a lot of different eras, or eras depending on where you're from and what you like to say. You're going to be going back to the prequels with some of the Clone Wars. Yeah, apparently the fucking Rudder droids are playable, as if you'd want to play them. Thought they were dead and buried. Apparently not. But it means you're also going to get Darth Maul from that side of things. You're going to get the original trilogy players, so your Leias, your Lukes, all of that side. And then you're going to get the newer generation, so Rey, Kylo Ren, that too. So I love that they're kind of covering all of it. In the first game we saw a lot of planet battles. All of it kind of did happen from the planet, even if there were access to ships. Even if you did get into a TIE fighter or an X-Wing, anything like that, it kind of did take place still near the planet. Like, that's where all the battles were happening. This time though, you do see a lot of space battles, which is what a lot of us were desperately after, so I'm excited about that one. And they're saying that there's going to be plenty of different ships, again, over different eras that you can play as well. So you can actually unlock the Slave One, which means we get the sonic boom, that one that we love so much. That's going to be great. Millennium Falcon, you can unlock and fly that as well. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited that we're going to be getting land and space. Also in the trailer, you see Maul versus Yoda. That's cool. I'm excited to know more about that. And then at the end of the trailer, you hear a beautiful rendition of Imperial March softly being played on a piano. It's a haunting tinkle is probably the only way I can describe that. The trailer was pretty cool. I'm glad we got to watch it twice because I do have a lot of questions, but we found out even more about what we can expect in Battlefront 2. The big thing on everyone's lips, single player campaign. Kind of got cheated in Battlefront, the first one. Didn't really happen. We didn't get a canon story anyway. We weren't really following anyone's journey. And what I loved about this panel, what they addressed, was that every time you watch Star Wars, you do see it from two different points of view. So you're constantly cutting from someone in the rebellion that you're following, whether it was Luke or Rey, and then you're cutting to the other side, which of course is the Empire. So you're seeing it from Vader's point of view, Kylo Ren's point of view. And we didn't get that in the first game. So here they are really wanting to focus on bouncing back and forth between the different sides, so you completely cover their certain points of view. But what's hard with that is in this giant canon universe, it's really, really hard to follow a movie because it's already exists on its own. So what they're doing a lot, I've noticed, whether it is in books, whether it is in the games, is you're allowed, well, they're allowed a tiny portion of the giant space universe in Star Wars, and you're allowed to divulge and access and have and own that particular space. It can be from completely different times. In this case, we are going straight from Return of the Jedi leading up to the events of Force Awakens. So this is older Luke, this is older Leia. But I love that we knew that the rebels were really happy and they kind of felt like they'd won, and we got a little bit of exposition from The Force Awakens. They're filling in the blanks here, and they are doing it from the point of view of Iden. Female character, we're seeing this so much in Star Wars. I'm hoping that this isn't going to revolt a few of the diehard fans, being like, I get it, you're spoon feeding us, Disney. I, for one, am a big fan of it. Rey is an amazing character, you know, and she works so great alongside Finn. There were a lot of women in space, and they weren't just Twi'leks dancing for Hutt or one senator, you know. They make up half the population, so we're seeing more and more of those, which is really, really cool, especially to be a female fan. But my only concern is this is so much like Ciana Ree's character from Lost Stars. Definitely read that book or listen to it if you haven't yet. We've just spent the last 40 years being on one side, and now they're trying to introduce us to another side. And it's not necessarily power hungry. It's not, you know, channeling all these negative emotions. It's actually like relatable for a lot of people that are doing their job and they're doing it well. Whether it's through blindly following a leader that you believe in, depends how you see it, but it is interesting that the Empire and the Imperials are seeing the rebels as like outlandish criminals in a way, and that makes sense as well when you really think about it. And I think Rogue One did a really good job with that too, having radicals and extremists. So Iden is a pilot, which means you're going to hopefully see her training and see her rise through the ranks, flying in TIE fighters, maybe being a captain or a commander on a Star Destroyer. Again, that sounds a lot like the book. Iden has a droid companion, which is kind of cool. I think you can use that in your missions. That's gonna be pretty cool. If you do have a single player campaign and it is Battlefront, I hope we can expect like espionage kind of infiltration campaigns. Something that's going to be a little bit different than rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. We have Star Wars. Star Wars tells such a brilliant story. Let's have some of that story in a shooter game. Iden is also a member of the Inferno Squad, I think. That's what I've gathered from this. They've created this league of very, very talented and brutal and ruthless stormtroopers, like the Death Troopers, and this is a facet from that which either she leads or is a part of. Space exploration, sign me up. Dogfights, sign me up. New planets, all about. Apparently we'll be getting some. They're keeping a lot of things under wraps, and I understand why they do that, because the game's not coming out until November. Write this down, November 17th of this year. We'll get episode 8, I believe, as the game launches, and then once we get what the next standalone movie, the anthology, is Han Solo, maybe you'll get him as an unlockable character. We might be being able to play Childish Gambino as Lando in the game. That'd be cool. Sign me up for that. So there is a lot of potential here. My concern is, I think it's a little bit of a cop-out that, you know, they're given a canon storyline, and it's one that I've already read about, but it's not at all. I do love that it's a strong female character in an Inferno Squad from the point of view of the Imperials. That's really, really cool. I want to know how they build the Starkiller base. Like, this is the timeline that we're leading up to. That's going to be a lot of fun. They are promising a lot. The fact that I can play as Luke Skywalker in a mission. That was guaranteed to us. The fact that they are putting a lot of effort into the heroes and new ships. Sign me up for that. So hold on, we did talk about a lot of the single player story campaign. Let's talk about multiplayer. They're taking a bit of a new angle with the heroes. So before it was a power up and you could unlock it and you were just like, yeah, I feel unstoppable, this is fun. And it was like a short-lived kind of thing where you felt invincible, but once you were dead, you know, you were thrown back into the throes of battle. This particular one, they want to treat it like you collect resources and then you're able to upgrade your hero. So you can upgrade, I think they're calling it its career, where you can, you know, unlock their guns, unlock their abilities, and you invest, I guess, in your hero to be able to play it instead of it being like a little bit of a treat, like a, ooh, that was fun, and then it's done. This is more of like, you know, an investment and you must play to unlock, I'm guessing. That's pretty cool. And they're saying that the heroes are not only your big familiar characters like Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, which was a lot of fun in the first game, but this time there's going to be Darth Maul, Kylo Ren, so new familiar faces which we haven't been able to play as before. But one that I'm interested in is that they're trying to make the everyday soldier a hero as well. Like when you're playing as a Death Trooper or as an Imperial pilot, you're able to be that previously faceless person in the background that actually takes the shot, that wins the battle, that brings down the AT-AT, that you actually have a purpose in the Star Wars. So to quickly recap, they are kind of doing, hey, shiny new thing. We've got our very own storyline and canon and new character that we have in this game. Thanks to Lucasfilm, they've approved this and they've written the story together. I'm like, yeah, but what about episode 8? I think that is a good fix for single player campaign. Let's see how it goes. But I'm loving that you can unlock different ships, including Slave One and the Millennium Falcon. I am loving that we have a strong female character called Iden, and I'm looking forward to seeing more about her. The behind the scenes alone, you saw epic mocap. Like, they are really, really investing a lot in the realism, which is good because every time a game comes out, the next one's got to be better, and this one does actually look better. The footage was from the actual game engine, which I was impressed by. And you can ride a motherfucking Tauntaun, so, I mean, check, that's always been a life goal. Overall, pretty excited, want to know a little bit more about these new planets, including Vardos, but only needing to wait, what, like 7 months? That I'm okay about. What did you think? What were your highlights from the panel and the trailer? What are you most excited about? Does this feel like a Battlefront game to you? Let me know. Let's get excited. For me, it looks great. It sounds great. I love that it does feel like an authentic Star Wars game. Why did you have to make a canon character so similar to the one that we've already gotten? It's like these little pockets of canon that you're allowed to have fun with. They're not communicating, and I do worry about bloating of canon content, which is why we had to start again in the first place. I mean, it does all make sense in a way, like they're not overlapping, and it's not like Chewie gets killed by a moon and it's like, oh, we got to explain that now. They are playing it safe in that way, but listen to each other, guys. We could have actually had Thane and Ciana Ree from a story in this game, and that to me would have been so much cooler because it ties together more. Like, have some more glue happening. Yeah, that's just me. That's my only bone I really have to pick. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to Star Wars Celebration. I'm having a blast. Thanks for joining me in my hotel room. May the Force be with you. And yes, guys, it is a good time to be a geek. Bye.